Question 17 is actually not a difficult question. It's a very familiar concept to all of you. If you can identify that this is a quantity times value question, you will have no problem. The problem is that many of our students could not see that it's a quantity times value. Okay, part A is 15. Part B is 120. And part C is 216. You have done this before. It's a 2022 paper question, so schools will let you all do it. It's a Q times V question, quantity times value. The problem with this question is that the quantity and the value is not so obvious. So students may not identify that it's a quantity and value, but how do we know that it's a quantity and value? You have number of large cakes and small cakes. This is your quantity or your number. For large cake, you have number of cherries for each large and your number of cherries for each small. That is considered to be your value. Okay, the first one is we find the number of small cakes. So if you're finding the number of small cakes, 5 units to 3 units, right? So 40 divided by 5 equals to 8. 40 divided by 5. 40 divided by 8 equals to 5, I mean. Okay, so your total is 8 parts. You have 40 cakes, you divide by 8, and then your small is 3. So obviously, it is just 5 times 3 to give you 15. They give you 1 free mark here. If you get part A wrong, don't tell me. Now, part B and C is the one. If you can recognize that it's quantity times value, it's very straightforward. It's just that in this particular case, you have your small and your large cakes. You know the number of small and large cakes. So if you have 15 small cakes, 40 minus 15 will give you 25 large cakes. So your large cakes in terms of the number is 25 and your small is 15. What is the value in this case? The value is the number of cherries each. So 1 large cake, you use 3 units of cherries. 1 small cake, you use 2 units of cherries. So what is your total value? Okay, but read the question. Your 204 cherries is for what? All the small cakes. So how many small cakes? 15. But only 7 large cakes. So we scratch the 25 and we change it to 7 because I only have 7 large cakes. Because that is all the information that is given to us. So that is the variation to the question that you need to take note of. Okay. And we know that this will give me a total of 204 cherries. So from the table, 51 units in total is 204. And therefore, 1 unit is 4. What do we want? Cherries for all the small cakes, which is this. So 30 units. Okay. All right. So while it is a quantity times value question, pay attention to the variation in the question because they only give you 7 large cakes. Or rather, they give you the value that is meant for 7 large cakes. So pay attention to that. And therefore, how many more cherries did she need for the remaining large cakes? People, be nice. If not, I will show you how toxic I am. Oops. Anyway. How many large cakes does she have remaining? You have 25 large cakes in total. You have 7 large cakes here. 25 minus 7 to give you 18. So you still need to decorate another 18 large cakes. And 1 large cake is not 3 cherries. 1 large cake is 3 units of cherry. So 3 units of cherry. Just now we found 1 unit is 4. So 4 times 3 is 12. And therefore, 18 times 12 to give me 260. It is a quantity times value question, which by right most of you should know how to do. But there are some slight variations that make it a lot. You have to read the question carefully. Okay, the other thing is that your value here is the one in units. Normally the quantity is the one in units, but it doesn't matter, it can be either. All right, I'm going to dismiss you all. Sorry for overrunning.
Bye-bye.
If you have any questions, you can stay behind to ask, or you can ask if you are in the WhatsApp group